Ethan Anderson from USC. As the Trojans, they lose one potential high draft pick in Onyeka Okongwu, and they bring in another one in Evan Mobley. So the recruiting continues to be fertile for the USC Trojans, a team that I think we all expect to be in the thick of the race for an NCAA tournament berth, and somewhere, regardless of where the projections are, as we saw toward the end of last season, they continue to be in that chase.
Yes, like you said, they're both potential very high draft picks, and Evan Mobley and Onyeka Okongwu actually have similar. They're very similar to me in terms of their dominance and the way they lead. Neither of them were very vocal leaders or anything like that. Big O never came in the locker room demanding the ball or really that vocal in terms of just stating what he wanted. I think Evan Mobley's the same way. He's actually a pretty quiet guy. But on the court, he's dominant. He didn't have to say anything. Just when he touches the ball, he's immediate attraction. All five defense has to pay attention to him just because of how dominant he is and his length and his athleticism at that size. And I think he's dunking the ball every other play, and it's just become like a regular thing when he dunks now. It's not even like a highlight play to anybody because just his dominance and how easy it comes to him. And, yeah, like you said, I've been spoiled with Big O, and I'm spoiled once again with Evan Mobley with my lob passes, and my assists are going to be pretty much the same or not, if not higher this year, just because of how I really don't even have to pay attention to where I throw the pass with him. He's just anywhere in his area, he's able to come down with it and he's able to finish.
Yeah, at the end of the day, no matter how long your career is at USC, so far, at least in 2 years, you're going to have a pretty good resume of who you've played with.
Yeah.
At the end of last season, I know it's a different team, but the manner in which you guys knocked off UCLA and sort of that as sort of the capper to that season, there was momentum. Then everything stopped a couple days later. So how do you build off that good feeling, those vibes from that momentum from last year around everything that's been halted to this point?
Well, we've been watching a good amount of film from last year in terms of how good we were defensively. I think we were top 9 in the country. I think we were one of the best in the Pac-12 at our defensive field goal percentage allowed and stuff like that. So we've been watching a lot of film on that just in terms of our principles and our toughness that we have. So we're really trying, although we have a lot of new players, and me and Isaiah Mobley and Max are probably the only people that's played on that team last year, but we're still trying to bring that same defensive identity in terms of just toughness and not allowing teams to have their best shooting games, not allowing their best players to be able to go for a lot of points and stuff like that. So it is hard to get our new guys to really see what that was like, just because we don't have that same team, or like you said, our season was cut short, but we're still looking to have that similar identity in terms of our defensive abilities. And this team, I think, is a lot taller than our last year's team. I think I'm the shortest person on the team, and in practice, everybody looks like giants out there. So that's going to help our defense a lot also. And we can also shoot. So all that stuff taken into consideration, I think we're going to be able to match that same intensity and really feed off what we did last year.
And Ethan, when you guys were allowed back, the weather's nice, obviously, but, a lot of these teams out west had the advantage of being able to play outside. What was it like when you were first allowed to congregate in some form or fashion?
When we got the news that we were going to be able to practice outside, although it wasn't full contact or anything like that, we were just happy to be able to get all the guys together, because although we want to practice and have our full, be able to scrimmage and stuff like that, getting that chemistry, just being around each other is also important, I think, because once you get that, develop that brotherly love and that brotherhood, it helps when you get out there on the court, so you can have your brother's back, you have your teammates back. If he gets blown by or something happens, you have your teammates back. So we were just really happy to really get all our guys in one place together with a basketball, so that whether it be just we're doing just shooting drills, stuff like that, working on skill work. But we were really excited to really get back out there. And then when the news came that we were able to get back in the gym, everybody was even more excited in the competitiveness and practice at an all-time high that I've seen here. And then we have a really good group in terms of guys that are unselfish and everybody's motivated.